This is a 2005 Honda Odyssey. If you're looking to transport a lot of people on the cheap, whether you're a soccer mom or a man who's lost all self-esteem and respect, this is the vehicle for you. I recently bought this minivan from a coworker who bought it brand new. And today I'm gonna tell you why I bought this minivan. I'm gonna show you around. We're gonna take a look at some of my favorite features. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you what to look for if you are planning to buy one. It is well known that Chrysler gave birth to this whole minivan movement here in the States when in 1983 they came out with the Plymouth Voyager and the Dodge Caravan. Since then, many other domestic and foreign manufacturers have followed suit. GM's with their Astro van, Ford with the Aerostar. You have Toyota with the Toyota's van, and yes, they named it van. Simply put, van. And then in typical Japanese tradition, Honda didn't make this the Honda Odyssey until 1995. But I think ever since it hit the scene, it became the king of minivans. Or is it queen? Is it queen? Hey Odyssey, what are your pronouns? And now let's take a look around the outside of this vehicle, where I'm going to show you some of my favorite features. Then we'll move inside where it's nice and warm. So we're going to start right back here with the gas cap and the gas door. Let's open that up from the inside. Pretty much, standard like most vehicles. Then you open the gas door, and as you can see here, it has just your standard string here that holds the gas cap together. But in most cars, you either have something up here where you can put the cap on to keep it tight, but not here. See, Honda decided to make it a very simplistic way of attaching the gas cap here. And instead of putting something where you attach the whole cap, they decided to put a ring around the gas cap and a little hook so that you can just gently put the cap in there. So simple. Alright, now we're inside, and you probably will notice that we are at a different location and in a different day. I got the same clothes, but the problem was the recording failed. The microphone somehow malfunctioned on the last video, and so I'm re-recording for you guys. It happens. Anyways, right now in the interior, let's talk about the things that I like about this minivan on the inside. And space, storage is the game. It's the name of the game when you have a minivan, and that is very apparent in here. Storage is abundant. There's everywhere. There's 4 cup holders right here in the middle, and there's a lot of space for you to put things here. And then you can also put this piece down so that you can actually move around and about here if you wanted to. So space, but also utility and functionality when you need it. Storage here in the middle. On the sides you have tons of storage as well. You can have storage down here for more cup holders if you ever needed to. And then you have a lot of space here for your trash. You have space here in the middle. There's like 3 levels of storage on the door itself, the door panel. You can put an umbrella, you can put in like little packets of drugs, anything you want really. Here at the top, also the door where you grab the door to close it, there's like a little pocket. I like to put my phone here because it just fits nicely in there. Same happens on the passenger side. Lots of storage. The controls are very easy to reach everywhere. You have your temperature control here for the front and the rear. Your radio here, or navigation system if you opted to, you know, spend a little bit more dough and get yourself a navigation system, or if you take the stock radio and upgrade it. Here on the side we have the controls for both electronically controlled doors and the sunroof. Down here you have your where you put your discs for your DVD player in the back, because you know you have to have Frozen. You know, you cannot have one of these minivans and not be able to play Frozen. You just cannot do it.
Let it go. Let it go. Yay!
On the passenger side as well, the glove compartment, you have two different glove boxes. You have one at the top, which is a smaller, more compact storage. And then at the bottom, you have your more standard glove box that opens up at the bottom for you to store more things as well. The dashboard layout is pretty standard as well. As you can see here, you know, you have a big dial that displays speed, because, you know, when you're a soccer mom, you want to make sure that you are going the exact speed limit or less. Anything above that, it's problematic for your reputation. And moving towards the back, the story is the same. There's so much storage everywhere. You have storage here. You have your headphones here for your DVD system. You have a storage pocket up here. You have cup holders on either side of these captain chairs, right? You can have, you know, the armrests that go up and down on either side of these chairs. And there's also a cup holder inside the door here. So when you close the door, there are compartments here for you to put more stuff and put a cup holder. And quite interesting, there's a storage space right here on the floor in the middle of the minivan, and it's lockable. You can lock it with your key. It's pretty cool. It's under the floor mat, so if you wanted to keep things safe, away from people's view, you can store them in there and lock them. And the same is true for the third row. There's actually cup holders, there's storage bins in the back for people on the third row, and you still have a lot of space to move around. And even with the third row up, you still have storage in the back to put in bags, to put in equipment, to put in, you know, food, all different kinds of stuff. You can fit multiple bodies back there. Hey Tony, how many bodies do you think we can fit back here? Now, in the back of the van, I want to show you how simple it is to remove all these seats for additional storage. See in here, the first thing that you want to do is fold the seats down, and then there's a latch up front for you to remove a seat. After that happens, the seat comes out, and you can repeat that process for all three seats and remove. Now, these do not hide. You have to remove them if you want the space, but as I showed you, it's fairly simple. Now let's move to the back. Now the back is incredibly easy to work with, and there's tons of extra storage back here. Now let me just show you how quickly it is to remove these seats so that you can have a completely flat surface for you to install or storage more things. Back here, all you have to do is go like that, pull this string, pull this lever, and voila, look at all the storage you now have in here. Literally tons of storage in here. Imagine if you were a soccer mom, how many soccer balls you can fit in here. Or if you were a man with no self-esteem, you can hide all your feelings in here, all of them. Now to set them back up, you just repeat the process. There's a handle here that you grab, slam it down, put it where you want it, and then just let go of the string quickly. Put it where you want it and just let go. And then look at all the space that you have here now to store things. Now that we're done with that, let's go for a drive. All right, now inside the Honda Odyssey. Let's go for a drive. Now immediately what you're gonna find is that you're sitting pretty high. This is, you know, standard for a vehicle like this, just like if you were sitting in an SUV as well. Now it's very comfortable. It's very spacious in here. My preference is typically to be sitting lower and tighter. I like a fitted vehicle, kind of like a suit, right? You want to be able to have something tailored to you where you fit just perfectly fine. Minivans, and it's understandable. You gotta you know, forget that as a car guy and think of what the vehicle is intended to do. And this is intended to be a spacious vehicle, which it is. There's a lot of space here. You know, armrest on this side. You can rest your arm on this side and drive, you know, up city position, very comfortable. And that's what the vehicle is intended to do, and it does that very well. These minivans are designed for, you know, road trips and things like that, which we have taken it on a few different road trips, and they are very comfortable. So this is a perfect segue for me to tell you about, you know, why we bought this van. And the reason is very simple. My wife was killing the Range Rover. Well, recently my wife decided to join or assist, you know, in the scouts, and help, you know, the scouts, and go to different meetings and different activities and things like that with my kids, or with our kids. So, you know, as any typical Range Rover driver, you know, she doesn't do off-road and, you know, camping and things like that. And so, you know, she was banging into trees, getting it really dirty constantly with, you know, all the kids in and out of the truck, and it was just causing more problems than it was worth. So we figured, hey, you need something to carry a lot of these kids, and that's going to be economical and reliable. You know, I don't want them to be getting stuck somewhere. And so, you know, we found this minivan. A friend of mine, a coworker, was getting ready to sell it, and I said, hey, I'll be interested. And there we are. Now we have this minivan, which I'll be selling soon, but for the time being, it was very useful for her to carry, you know, all the scouts, all the equipment, all these different things, and it worked out well. It worked out very well for us. It's quite amazing how well it takes, you know, bumps and things like that. And, you know, dynamically speaking, it's not that horrible. I mean, you know, it's a minivan at the end of the day, but it is somewhat comfortable. Visibility is great. You can see everywhere around this minivan. There's lots of windows for you to see out. The controls are right in front of you. It's easy to see. It's not tiring. You're not overlooking things. You know, in terms of safety, you know, you do have your standard, you know, ABS, traction control, stability control. You do have side curtain airbags, front and side. It doesn't have all the newer equipment. You know, this one in particular doesn't have, you know, sensors to detect, you know, objects near you and things like that. It doesn't have all the latest safety features, but the most important ones are there. So, you know, even if you're concerned about safety, it does have a lot of features, the most important features in terms of safety. The rest you can buy those very, very cheaply. You can upgrade the stereo and the navigation system to include backup camera with sensors and things of that nature. So you don't necessarily have to go out and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars more on a newer minivan just so that it has a backup camera and some sensors. You know, power is adequate on these minivans. They use that same 3.5 liter V6 that they use in the Accord and different vehicles, the Pilot, and they're bulletproof. They're bulletproof engines. They will last forever. And my God, I mean, this is so fuel efficient. You know, it takes a regular 87 fuel, so it's cheap. And I'm not sure how many miles. I haven't been keeping track of it, but I want to say this is probably getting about, you know, 35, high 20s miles to the gallon on the highway. So it you know, it's very efficient. You put in, you know, $35, you fill up the tank, and it lasts you a while. So, you know, for someone who needs an affordable vehicle, again, this is the vehicle for you. It truly is. At the end of the day, this is a Honda. It's a you know, they're made to be reliable vehicles. You know, the Japanese like to build simplistic things, but do it really, really well, and that's where they excel. And now you're really pumped and excited to buy a minivan. Make your dreams come true. But not so fast. Let's talk about the things that you should look for when buying one of these. I've made a video to show you how to look for things on any car, like signs of wear, rust, things like that. Take a look at that, the link is included below. But now let's look at things to look for this vehicle specifically. And don't forget, it's never a bad idea to bring along a car-savvy friend like myself to help you look for things. You can always take the vehicle to a specialized shop or the dealership to do what is called a PPI, a pre-purchase inspection, where they look over everything, all the details of the vehicle, and tell you what's wrong with it. It'll be the best $150 that you spend on the car. Now, starting with the obvious, rust right here. These vehicles are notorious for rusting right here under the wheel well on the inside. Now this one is very apparent. You can see it, you can miss it, but some you can actually start to feel it on the inside but not see it on the outside. You want to check along the edge and be careful not to cut yourself, but you can kind of start to feel the rust building in before it actually pops right here. Most cars have this damage on both sides, which this one does as well, and this can cost you anywhere from $700 to $1,800. It really depends on how bad the rust is and how well you want this to be done. Because, you know, once you have to fix this, you have to cut this out and weld in a new piece and then paint this whole panel, blend it in, and most likely blend in your bumper or just paint the whole bumper as well, because a lot of these are gonna have a lot of different scratches. Think about that before you put an offer on this vehicle. The other costly item that I want to highlight is the automatic sliding doors. As you can see, this one works well. And I don't know if you've noticed on these videos, I've been using this door and this door only to demonstrate the capability. And that is because the other one is broken. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But that's the point. Some of these doors have some issues. Sometimes what you may experience is the doors open halfway, not all the way, or sometimes the cable snaps on these doors and it doesn't operate. Now, a way to check for these things is you want to open the door and see that it operates fully, that it opens and closes the other way, and then you want to shake the door to see if you have any flex. Because what happens is you have bearings that carry this door so that it slides smoothly, and sometimes they start to go bad and don't allow the function to operate fully, open and close. Now, if the door doesn't operate at all, it's possible that your cable is broken, and if that's the case, you're looking at about $400 just for the equipment itself to replace, and labor can run you $200 to $300 on top of that. Now, the next thing I want to point out is in the engine bay. So let's open up the hood from the inside. And that is your rear engine mount. A lot of these cars, the rear engine mount goes bad. You want to take a look at that. If you don't have anybody to help you, but you do have a phone that you can set up, kind of like what I'm doing here, you want to do that or have somebody, you know, look at it for you. But what you want to do is go inside the vehicle, engage drive with your foot on the brake, at the same time give it a little gas to see motion of the engine, and you want to do that in reverse as well. Let me demonstrate. What you're looking to do here is see if there's any play in the engine. If you see the engine moving a lot, you know you have a bad motor mount and needs to be replaced. That can be costly. While I'm here, you also want to look into the transmission. Now, proper transmission maintenance on one of these vehicles, the transmission will last a lifetime. The previous model seemed to have a lot of issues with the transmissions, but Honda has since corrected those problems, and these are pretty much very good transmissions. Again, just check the operation, make sure that when you're driving, the shifts are happening smoothly, that reverse engages smoothly, that drive engages smoothly from neutral. If that is the case, then you have a good transmission. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you find it informative. If you're a guy and you bought one of these minivans, let me know how you're feeling, how you're doing. I want to make sure that you're doing okay. Let me know in the comments below. If you're a soccer mom and you're enjoying your minivan, let me know. How do you like it? Are you getting good value out of it? Thanks. See you next time.